Welcome back to another video, guys. So in this video we're going to be trying out the new character, Lisette. So for those of you who don't know, she just recently came out, well actually today. She's incredibly strong at the moment. So her main abilities include a revive, where she can automatically revive someone after 2 turns when they die, just purely off her passive alone. Her S3 is a reset, kind of like Wretched Rose after she gets her second S3 off, where she'll restore the state of the battle the first turn, meaning any protection shields are back up, any cooldowns are given back, any injury damage as well is also nullified. So it's very strong, especially when you pair with characters like Dark Corvus, where if you tune it so that Dark Corvus goes first, he can S3 and then the Lisette can reset him and they can S3 again. So it's incredibly strong, especially in a scenario like Guildwar where it's 3v3. She's really good tank down because she also gets a bunch of free stats from her passive. Those stacks, like the 4 stacks of divinity she gets, each of them gives her 20% HP defense. So even at just like 24k HP outside of game, she ends up being close to like 40k HP in game, which is just insane to even think about. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll go into the first fight now. So for this first attack, we're going to be hitting Darka. Now we're fighting Nodos, Arnel, Lisette, and we're actually going to try using Lisette of our own. Now it seems a little experimental. I am following up though, so the person that scouted this said it was pretty safe. And it's pretty cool that we get to use a new character for our first attack. So to start off, we're going to have a Warfare DC in the very front. He's on Thorn of a Blue Rose, just, you know, DC things on a speed boot. We have a Lisette. Oh, sorry, not Lisette. Let's go Estelle first. We have Estelle on 3F. She's on Pursuit set, just a lot of HP, a lot of tank, no speed needed. And then we have our Lisette. Our Lisette's about 220 speed, 225. Now, I don't have a second proof of friendship, unfortunately, free to play life. But I don't think it really matters for this fight, just when I was watching the replay. But overall, she's just bulky. A lot of HP, quite a bit of defense. She doesn't need ER because she is immune to debuffs. So yeah, I think this build should be fine. For team 2, we're going to use a team that we commonly use. It's a mid cleave. So we have our mid on our actual plus 30 proof of friendship as fast as we can get her. We have a Hecate in the front that's going to get pushed on Warfare Torrent, 220 speed. And then we have our Vildred in the back, that's our speed imprint, plus he is going to proc off the Hecate and just kind of clean up a bit, 225 speed. But yeah, these should be fairly safe. And we can just get straight into it. Yeah, Lisette being immune to debuffs is actually really huge for this Arnel meta, because Arnel will never get to extra attack off of her, assuming she's the only light unit on your team. But yeah, Lisette is a very big game changer. If you guys haven't had the opportunity, I do recommend pulling her. You do have what is it, 3 weeks-ish to pull for her, so you can always try pulling for her later. Here we're just gonna S1. We're just doesn't really matter if we S1. You can just S1 the Lisette here. We're gonna save our S3 for until after DC S3s. Now I just need to double check how tanky this Arnel was. It's only about 10k, so we should be able to do a non-soulburn kill on this. Yeah. So here, I think we can just start whittling down this Lisette a bit. And then when it's Lisette's turn, we're just going to S3. So what this does is it's going to restore the state of the battle to the first turn for our side. So what this means is not only is my team going to be fully revived or fully healed, but DC is going to get his S3 back as well. This just makes it so now he can just eat all the attacks again very easily. And then here we're just going to opt out Soulburn on the Lisette. This should comfortably kill it. And then we're just going to 3v1 into DC. Now again, my DC, or sorry, the Nodos. My DC should eat this fairly comfortably, because we do have Estelle mitigation as well. And yeah, now he's out of the realm, and now we just we can just take our time. You can see she does also heal quite a bit. And the Nodos is going to only hit our DC just because he is a dark unit. So our DC is just going to get his S3 back even faster. die, he should have his S3. Now we can just soul burn and kill the Nodos. Yeah, pretty cool. She's definitely a very strong character. I do heavily recommend you guys pull her if you're fairly serious about Guildwar and even RTA. I do heavily recommend you pull her. Again, you do have 3 weeks, so you know, if you don't have all the mystics right now, you can kind of wait a bit and then get to it later. You should refresh your shop, by the way. Always use your sky stones to refresh the shop for mystics rather than buying them outright. It's always cheaper. But yeah, so for this team, we did luckily outspeed, so we're just gonna opt to S2 first. Gonna S2, and then we're just gonna S3 the Hecate. Our Hecate can now S3 the RB. Now this RB should die to this. It's fairly squishy. And our Hecate will then get to push up 100% as well, but this will also proc our filtered. Yeah. Then our Hecate can just finish up. So our Hecate did push 100%. But yeah, pretty clean, pretty simple. And I'll see you guys in the next attack. So for this next attack, we're going to be hitting Fake Paradise. So for team 1, we're just going to cleave it with Yoha G-Ross, and we do have a Abyss Fulmir. So her main role is she's just going to go first. She's going to teleport the frontline unit, which is the green Yoha, away. And then the Yoha is going to supercharge our Ross. It is speed tuned so that they don't overlap each other. And then our Ross will just get pushed up and kill everything. He's on Pursuit Destro with 3F. Now for team 2, we're going to try again the new character. So we're going to be using about 210-ish speed Nodos, pretty decently statted on Holy Sack. We're going to be using Lisette. Now she is slightly slower at 196. I do have her tuned though so that the Zeo will hit the Nodos, and then when the Let Away goes, it'll proc the Soulcon to push her above the Nodos so that she can cleanse the Nodos. That was so many Nodoses. And then the ARAM is tuned to go after the Nodos. So after he S3s, the ARAM will reset him. So push him to the front of the line. And on top of that, when he exits his realm, he'll have his S3 up immediately because of the reset. It's also on my other proof friendship. I don't have 2, unfortunately. So this is about as good as it gets. Actually, I think I can. Oh wait, I might be trolling. Oh, I am trolling. Whoopsies. Yeah, so I can put my plus 31 on her. It's just to give more HP to the Nodos. But yeah, I think this should be fine. You can just go right in. She's going to throw this into the Ross, but again, he can't be debuffed, so he should be able to eat all these hits pretty comfortably. We're also on Proof of Valor on our Yoha, so don't worry you take any damage. So here we can just S2 just to push them back, see if we get a little bit lucky. Although we don't really need to. And then we can S3. So here we're just going to go ahead and supercharge the Ross, push him up all the way. So we can just S2 the Lisette. I know she can't be debuffed. This is more so just to get a tiny bit of chip damage on her, because we're just going to aim to one-shot everything anyway, as you can see there. So the nice thing is that, as you can see, it increases damage when there's fewer enemies. So I'm pretty sure when Fulmir teleports the front line, it counts as though there's only 2 enemies on the field. So this should do even more damage. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, obviously, but yeah. It just straight up kills. Yeah, even it does full pen, so it just does an insane amount of damage. Now Team 2 is a little scary. Well, not really. So the nice thing is that Nodos can't be pushed back, which is pretty nice. And so again, the reason we're running Soulcon was so that our life cycle push above our Nodos. And now she can just S3 and reset the state of the battle. The main reason for this is just to full heal our Nodos and to get rid of the silence. And then our Nodos can start doing Nodos things. So immediately we're just going to S3. Yeah, and with Lisette's buff, which each stack of divinity, she gets HP and defense scaling. And as you can see, Like that free run did no damage like whatsoever to her. Her stats like they do get really insane. If I remember correctly, at roughly 24-ish KHP, in game she goes closer to like 43k, which is kind of insane. Because again, those are free stats. But here we can just soul burn and kill the Ludwig first. Definitely want to get rid of the Ludwig because he can still do like a tiny bit damage with his souls. Once we kill the Ludwig, it is basically GG. Here we just opt to kill the free range. She should be squishy, so it's one tap. Yeah. Yeah, we just do this and pretty much GG. Pretty clean. I will catch you guys in the next attack. So for our last attack, we're going to be hitting History 1x. Now the teams are actually the exact same, I believe, from our first attack. So we're just going to be running DC, Estelle, Lisette for the first team. So we just have our generic DC on Thorn of a Blue Rose. Definitely has to be on a Warfare set. Other than that, nothing too crazy. We're going to be running our Estelle on 3F. Now again, nothing too crazy, just really bulky. And then we're going to run our Lisette around like 200-ish speed, which is just a lot of bulk. She's on my free Proof of Friendship, since we're using the plus 31 for the other attack. But yeah, again, nothing too crazy. So for team 2, we're just going to use a mid cleave. So we have a mid on our fastest gear, plus 30 Proof of Friendship. We have a Kate at roughly 225-ish speed. Warfare Torrent, just again, on our best fast Warfare gear. She's also on the 50% push EE, just so she can cut to 100% afterwards. And then we have our Villager at like 220-ish speed on just really high damage symbol. Again, very, very generic. We've done this attack multiple times. But yeah, we can go straight into it. So for Lisette's for sure, we're just gonna prompt S1. Reason being that we're gonna reset our DC after ES3s. There's no real reason to do it prior. Oh, yeah, dude, Lisette gets insane amount of stats for free. You can see like this RNL S3 like barely tickled her. Well, of course she does get mitigation from Estelle, but even without the Estelle, it doesn't really do any damage. But here we're gonna just soul burn. We're gonna try to get rid of this Arnold as quickly as we can. So we should eat that fairly comfortably. This S3, we can probably just throw it into the Lisette as well. Just get her down like a tiny bit more before we rip another DC S3. So here we get S3, and what this does is it's going to, again, set the state of the battle to the first turn. So my DC is going to be fully healed, and all of his cooldowns are going to be returned. Which means that he will, again, be able to eat another Nodos hit. So here we can just soul burn into the Lisette and just finish her off now. Yeah, pretty much from here it's GG. We should eat this fairly comfortably. On the off chance we didn't, again, Lisette's passive would revive DC after a turn or two. So again, she is incredibly strong because not only is she keeping DC alive, she resets cooldowns and she's healing him and she revives him. This character is really strong. It's definitely a must pull if you're serious about playing Guildwar and RTA. I definitely would try to pull her with all the resources that you have. There are some packs that you can buy if you don't mind spending the money, of course. The packs are very good value at the moment. Typically buying mystics without these kind of packs are very expensive, so if you were to buy it during the event, you just get a lot better of a deal is all. But yeah, if you're not able to swipe, it's totally fine. What you can do is you can use your Skystone to refresh the secret shop and just kind of get as many mystic medals as you can out of that. You have 3 weeks. You do tend to get a lot of Skystone and mystic medals just naturally, so you know, even if you're not close now, you should ideally have like, you know, I'd like to say like maybe 20-ish pulls in 3 weeks. I'm not entirely sure, but it should be close. But yeah, that first fight pretty simple, pretty clean. It's very safe. yeah. So here we can just S2. It's gonna S2 and then we're gonna S3 the Kate. And with this, we can just kill the RB. Hakei is also actually a really good answer into the new character. I do see a few people using her. The main reason being that she just stops revives. So if you're able to kill the other 2 units while you have a Kate on the field, you're just going to stop her from reviving them. So then you're just going to 3v1 into the character. Like, she doesn't really do any damage. So, you know, maybe it might take a while, but you do get the kill eventually. But yeah, that's our final attack done. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.